wasn't any Luka Doncic. He was ruled out for Thursday's game. But when you have LeBron James, it is going to be just fine, even at the age of 40. Jackson Hayes finds James for the finish. Lakers up 55-47 going into the second half. Under 3 minutes to go, Lakers by 1. James from the corner. Lakers lead by 1 after the third quarter. Again, back-to-back night. Home yesterday or the day before. They were up in Portland last night. James knocks down the 3. Lakers up 5. Then less than a minute later, James buries another 3 from the wing. Lakers up 8. It was just a vintage performance out of LeBron last night. 40 points, 4 assists, 8 rebounds. And the Lakers hang on the road 110-102. So it's the second 40-point game for LeBron since turning 40. That's more than the rest of NBA history combined. Michael Jordan is the only other player to ever score 40 at the age of 40. Overall, it's the 79th 40-point game of his career, tying him with Allen Iverson for 6th most in the NBA. We have 2 Tims and a Wendy now to discuss all things NBA. And Wendy, look, I want to focus on LeBron first based on what we saw last night out of him at the age of 40. What did you put into perspective?
I wasn't even sure he was going to play in this game. He was listed as questionable. He had played heavy minutes the night before in that loss against Charlotte. He played all but 3 minutes in the second half of that game. He's obviously still dealing with the foot issue. They get in the middle of the night. He comes in and shows tremendous energy in this game. Look, you don't have a must-win game in February, but considering they're playing the Nuggets tomorrow night, which is their third game in 4 nights, this was coming off back-to-back losses. This was an important one, and he stepped up and delivered. His numbers since he turned 40, Matt, crazy stats. 26, 9, and 8 on 54% shooting. Just as good as you could ever expect from him at this age.
It just keeps getting better, which is scary to say with all the mileage on his body from coming into the NBA as a teenager, Tim Bontemps, and living in the present. And we all want to do that because this Luka LeBron trade was such a stunner. But why is that the wrong way to look at this Lakers roster, particularly those 2 right now?
Because they're not built to win right now. With LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and Austin Reeves, that's not a trio that's going to work in the playoffs, right? All those guys at this point in their career, including LeBron, are negative players on defense, and they all need the ball too much, right? You trade Anthony Davis away, who's an elite defensive center. There's a reason the Lakers went and tried to get Mark Williams, right? Obviously, they rescinded that trade, but they needed a big. They didn't get one at the deadline. Now they're playing, Jackson Hayes and Alex Len. I mean, guys who are on minimum contracts and bounce around the league for a reason. So right now, the Lakers aren't good enough to win a title. But this isn't about winning a title in the next 3 months. This is about having now a potentially 10-year window with Luka Doncic and his age 25 season, a guy who could be the next great long-term star of the Lakers, which 3 weeks ago they didn't have that guy.
So that begs the question, Tim MacMahon, because you've covered Luka for his entire career with the Dallas Mavericks. How quickly, based on what you know of him, will he be able to be comfortable, get healthy, and assimilate to everything that LA has to offer with the Lakers and LeBron?
Yeah, and look, the concern is about Luka Doncic getting fit, not how he fits with LeBron James. Those 2 guys are basketball geniuses. They that stuff out. And I don't want to harp on Luka's conditioning. I'm a guy who enjoys a post-game brewski or twoski. So is he. But it is the primary reason that the Dallas Mavericks decided to trade a 5-time first-team All-NBA selection before what should be his prime years. And look, this is a challenging situation for him. He's had 4 calf strains in the last 2.5 years. Each one's been a little bit more severe. He's coming off the most severe of those, was out for 6 weeks. This is basically early in a preseason process for him. You can tell he doesn't have his legs. It will come. He's not going to shoot 20% from three-point range. You're going to see the full blast, dominant version of Luka Doncic at some point soon. It might be as soon as Tuesday when, oh, by the way, the Mavericks are in L.A.
So Wendy, that's a great point from Tim MacMahon. So is there any reason to be concerned about the start of Luka's tenure in L.A.?
I'm not concerned about his overall play. I know they'll come around. I'm concerned about how the Lakers are going to fit together. The last 2 games that Austin Reeves played without Luka, he had 45 points and last night had 32 points. The 3 games he played with Luka, he averaged 15. So look, you don't need to be a next level person to realize that they're going to have difficulty maximizing their most talented players. And so their roster is out of balance. And so what I would just say is watch these next couple of months and see what Luka can be. Don't do anything crazy like predict that this team is going to make a run to the Western Conference Finals, because that's not real. What's real is these guys learning how to play together over a period of time.
What's also real is Tim MacMahon and a brewski or twoski. You know what? Maybe it's time for kegs and eggs on Get Up. We're going to make that new segment coming up. And I've seen him. It's a three-ski. There's no stopping.
I mean, you had pancakes yesterday.
We did have pancakes.
Would be good.
You can put some Jameson syrup on it.
I'm on fire. It's NBA, it's